Welcome back and happy Friday, Squirrel Nation! Today we are going to dive into some Liliana gameplay submitted by our Brazilian community member, Archetype. Or, not sure how you're supposed to say it. I'm going to say Arc. I'm going to call him Arc through the video. So anyways, let's dive in. Today, the video is mainly going to focus on checking the enemy's health and also being decisive in your actions. So, Arc is a diamond level player in playing on the Latin American servers. So anyway, starting off the game, I like it. Going with the support to challenge the jungle. Good job, good map awareness. Hopefully Arc gets back mid to clear the wave, which he is doing right now. So good job on that. Definitely staying with team. That's a smart thing to do if they're invading, is to go and help them out. Last hitting could definitely matter here. I'm going to be a little bit more picky on Arc since he is a diamond player. He missed all last hits on that entire wave, so don't be afraid to use your abilities to secure last hits, especially early game. Last hitting is actually, I would say, one of the most important things in the beginning of the game. And then also getting chip damage like he did with the Natalia right there. That was awesome. He hit the minions and he hit the enemy laner, so good job. Once again, missed. And okay, so out of his first 6 minions, he missed 5 of the last hits, so I would definitely encourage Arc to practice last hitting a little bit more. So anyways, roaming bottom, great. Counter roaming because the enemy mid's already there. This is one instance where I wish he would scroll down to check the enemy's health, and there he just did it there. In the future, when he starts to roam down and he sees fights breaking out, I would hope that he uses his camera scrolling to go and check on the enemy's health. There are multiple reasons to camera scroll, but honestly the main reason is to check enemy health level. The other stuff you can actually get from the mini-map, probably just as good if not better. This is a questionable play, and let's pause here to actually break this down a second. Okay, we know that he just came from bottom, and if you notice, Dragon just spawned, okay? So the teams are fighting over Dragon. Arc decided to come back mid to clear wave, which was okay. My issue was that he saw the enemy Lindis roaming down, and he still continued on mid, even though the lane would have been frozen. The lane would have been frozen because the enemy mid laner, Natalia, is not there. Another thing is, he also saw that Omen was roaming down the middle, and instead of just turning back and being with his team for this dragon control fight that's happening right here down on the minimap, he decided to go push mid. So now Omen sees that he's doing that. They just shared experience on all the minions that just died mid lane, and now Omen's going down there, which is putting Omen even further away from his lane. So anyways, overall, this interaction kind of results in a bad situation for his team. Then Omen realizes this. They're splitting experience again, right? And then they just lost two members of their team because they were fighting over that position on Dragon. I think all this could have been prevented if Arc would not have decided to go to mid and take that wave. So basically, I understand he wanted the golden experience from one wave. We're talking probably about 150 gold, and it ended up costing his team to hand over 2 kills worth 400 gold. And also, I'm surprised that the enemies didn't take Dragon because they had a 2-man advantage. That should have been a very easy Dragon for them to secure. But anyways, so right now, these are great times to check enemy health levels. Just use the camera. See, notice, okay, Arc's roaming down. I would love if he would use the camera to look at Yorn and Annette's health. These are little things that let him know where he stands. Okay, good, getting damage on. I'm not sure why he got scared there. Annette's not going to burst him down. He had the Yorn in a good spot. If he would have ulted the other way, he could have put stun and a lot more damage on Yorn. Now he does see the enemy jungler. That's good. He's getting away. That's great. His team's collapsing. They should collapse on Xanis, which they are doing. Okay, nice. Hits him with a good Reiki, and they secure the kill. Good job. So at first, he noticed Xanis. He ran away, which is awesome. He disengaged. Then he noticed his jungler and his crest were coming up to help him, and he re-engaged. So outstanding map awareness. Love the Reiki. Reiki throughout the game for Liliana, Reiki is a zoning tool. Okay, it's not a you're not going to use Reiki shot to hunt down people trying to run away because it's not going to hit them. What it's great at is to zone back the enemies when you are having a positional battle, like they were right there. They're fighting over that bush. People are coming in, and by Reiki shotting, Liliana causes one of the enemies to run away, or else they're going to take huge damage. So anyways, things are stabilizing. Their Omen's doing a really good job of farming, it seems. They're going to fight over Sentinel, and awesome camera squirrel. He comes up, he's coming to a help. Just good map awareness right now, you know? Arc is doing really good on map awareness. I haven't seen anything so far of where I think his map awareness cost his team anything. It's more decision making with the information he has. So, one of the reasons that I wanted to bring up the camera scrolling in this video for checking enemies' health is specifically for checking enemies' health. Because if you notice, he's been scrolling some other times that are not necessarily useful. I would not scroll my camera just to scroll my camera. Because you are vulnerable when you scroll your camera. If somebody jumps on you, it's going to be hard, and it can be disorienting, and you can end up losing a pretty easy fight just because you're scrolling camera. So knowing when to scroll your camera is a very important thing, and how. So like right here, I would have scrolled the camera just a little bit just to see where Annette's health is, right? Because if you notice, he couldn't quite see what Annette's health was at. Okay, here's something, a lack of aggression. Okay, he already overextended. He saw the Xanis coming in. If you're going to ult at that point, you might as well use your ultimate to chase down, get that Annette kill, since you're going to die anyways. That's a split-second decision, and I know it's hard, but I would have liked either one of two things. The best situation would have been don't overextend for that minion wave. Like, once you scared Annette away, then just regroup with your team. Because you have to know the enemies are rotating as soon as they see 3 to 4 people jumping onto their tower. The second best choice would have been to just secure that kill in Annette and trade your life for her life. But anyways, that I don't even take as that big of a mistake, to be quite honest. So you still see them fighting bottom. Right now is when I would scroll. You want to see Yorn and Annette's health. The reason why is if their health is low, you want to definitely head down there. If their health is high, then you know what you're doing is fine to me. Trade out towers. You're going to trade mid for bottom. Mid tower is worth more anyways if they're going to let you have it. But anyways, so yeah, their team's being indecisive also, and Arc ends up, he made a really good choice. He got mid tower and they lost bottom tower, so that's a totally good trade for his team. Same thing, they saw Xanis top. It would be nice to scroll, see how, like right now, scroll to see what Xanis' health is at, because this is where the camera scrolling really matters to check enemies' health, because you can always see your team's health below the minimap. Like, we know right now that Tell's health is at 50%, right? But you don't know what the enemy's health is. And when you're deciding if you should take a team fight or not take a team fight, a lot of that comes down to how much health your team has, how much health the enemy's team has, right? If your team has 100% health and you know the enemies have 60% health, then guess what? It's really good for you to force a fight. But like right here, you know 2 teammates, Zeph and Tell, are low health. What about the enemies, right? So that's kind of, if you gauge it once a fight starts, you're already at a disadvantage because you're wasting time. So that's why you always want to be keeping track of your enemy's health throughout the game, so that you always have a mental note of where their health is. Okay, same thing here. That's good. I like that he's stalling them out from backing. Unfortunately, they don't have a wave, which I think Arc realized, so he's like, okay, I'm going to give up on that and just come push mid. I think that was a very good call. Good map awareness once again. Their Omen has been doing a great job, and he continues to do a great job throughout the game of split pushing. So at this point, we can see in the chat the enemy team starting to get upset with each other. One thing Arc did earlier in the game, if you notice, he pulled up the text box to start to chat, and he decided against it. I think that's a good call. I do not think it's ever a wise choice to type in-game. There are a very minimal amount of times that it will help you, and there are many, many, many times that it will hurt you. And later in this video, you're going to see Arc type. He finally does get tilted. He types, and as soon as he types, his team just starts saying GG and flaming each other. So that is the much more common downside of typing. So anyways, they're kind of going right here. I would love a scroll to see what people's health are like, right? It seems like the enemies are all at full health, so this is really not a fight their team wants to take, and they're still waiting for people to rotate. Arc took more damage than he needed to. He got quite low, you can see. I would have liked him to stay more passive until his team came in. Same thing right here. And here's where camera scrolling matters, okay, is he's getting lucky that the enemies are at certain health or his teammate are winning these fights, right? Because there's no way for him to consistently know that, oh, we should be taking this fight, right? Because he's not checking the enemy health. So that's another thing. There's a lot of times in rank or in any game when you're playing that you luck yourself into wins. It's honestly you who is being carried by your teammates, right? So we have games where we carry, we have games where we are carried. So even in games when you're carried to a win, it's still really good for you to go back and evaluate what could you have done to help more, or what could you have done to make things not luck-based. Okay, like right now I would be scrolling. You're attacking the dragon, you see 3 enemies top. I would scroll around and look at their health, you know? Is there a chance that they're going to want to come down and contest dragon? And then see, actually, because of this, right, they end up missing this dragon, that dragon should have been guaranteed, just the easiest dragon ever. The enemy jungle and 2 other of their major damage were top. Arc chose to go clear a minion wave, and they let the enemy support come and zone them out. So that, I would say, was actually most of Arc's, what I would call major mistakes, this game have been revolving around dragon. So there was the one where he didn't help his team clear dragon because he chose to go clear minion wave, and there's a second one. So you could kind of summarize that to say that Arc is having an issue balancing when he should go farm, go clear minion waves, do that type of thing, versus when he should be helping with objectives. So for Arc, I would challenge him to figure out that balance a little bit better. One way to figure out that balance, and this balance becomes harder and harder when you're going diamond into masters, and it's actually a really, really big thing that holds people back. It keeps people in diamond that could otherwise make it to masters, and that's knowing when to farm and knowing when to take objectives. So Arc right now errs on the side of too much farm. So he's farming too much. So what I would encourage him to do is actually do the opposite. I want him to go too much to objectives, put too much focus into the objectives. And the reason for that is that teaches you the balance. He already kind of knows when he can farm and what the cost of that farm will be. But he doesn't really know when it is he could have secured an objective that he ends up not securing or letting the enemy team have. So, you know, if I was Arc, I would try to play, I don't know, maybe 20 to 50 games where I specifically focus much more on objectives and give up farm. I love that. His life for the high ground tower is great. I think originally, earlier in the game, if you remember, he, I would say, was not aggressive enough. He let Annette get away when he could have killed her. But there, I think that's good. Their team got the high ground tower, and he died. So that's a worthwhile trade, honestly. Okay, so, and here we go. This is what I was talking about earlier. He starts typing. I do not speak the language that Arc speaks, so I don't know what he's really saying. But anyways, you notice as soon as he types, okay, right? The chat has been basically dead. And then as soon as he types, things just blow up, right? So as soon as he typed, what happened is everybody just decided to pause. They stopped doing whatever they're doing, contesting this dragon, checking bushes, and they decided, oh, I need to pull up my keyboard and I need to chat. So I think actually probably a reason his team had issue with catching this dragon is also because he decided to type. There's another point right here on the Reiki shot. The enemies are disengaging in this case. They're not trying to fight his team. Doing a Reiki shot at that point is not a good idea, okay? Reiki is a zoning tool. Reiki is something you use to get aggressive people to back off. But when people are in retreat using Reiki just lets them get away. So by trying to Reiki shot a net, he guaranteed that a net would get away. So that's another thing when you're playing Liliana, is definitely balance those things out. So anyways, you can see the teams are still pretty even. At this point, we've been talking about kind of planning your win condition, and right here, I think Ark, that should be running through his team's mind. How are we going to end this? We need to get these high ground towers, or we need to get a good team fight and just finish this. Darkslayer is getting contested, and they're starting to fight around it. Here's the thing. You notice Ark splitting damage. He hit a net, now he hit Yorn, right? And just, let's keep watching this. Okay, now he hits a net. Oh, now he hits Xanis. Be very careful about splitting your damage. I do like the fact that he's focusing... It seemed that he was focusing on the damage to Xanis instead of the support, but he did waste multiple stuns on a net when there were other people in range. So that's something I would say think about. Try to be concerned about your focus fire. This is another thing. He's going to take shots from 2 towers. Like, I understand that Ark is trying to get over here quickly to help his Tell take this tower. I love the intention. I love the intention, but I do not like the execution. Ark could have simply ran into 1 tower's range, and then he would have only taken 1 tower shot. He would have had to path a little bit further, but he would have ended up taking a lot less damage. The reason this matters is health is a resource. Notice, Ark is very low on health, and now he's diving another tower. So Ark, before he decided to dive 3 different towers, was at like 90-some% health, and now he has to back, right? So now his team has to wait for him, and they don't wait. That's the nature of solo queue. People are not paying attention as much as they should be paying attention. None of us are perfect. And 3 of his teammates end up dying because he ate, I want to say 6 tower shots from 3 different towers. So anyways, don't just take damage to take damage. Take damage for a reason. I would have been okay with him taking 2 of those tower shots, which he needed to take to get over to his Tell Honest to help her take the other tower. But the other 4 that he took were absolutely unnecessary. And this is danger. So Crest does a great job. Crest honestly saves it. If Crest doesn't clear that minion wave, they're losing the high ground tower for sure, and probably losing the game. This is the greed's kicking in. So and here we go, typing again. And watch what happens when he types. Right, so he's typing, and let's look at what his team goes into. Oh, GG. There's one teammate, GG. Okay. And then we're still waiting. Everybody's pulling up their keyboards, right? Instead of paying attention to what's happening, which is they need to clear these minions, right? If those minions get in their tower range and they focus the core, they're done. Okay, first time Tell, GG. So now he's got GG out of his Tell and out of his Creshed, and now the Tell and Creshed have started a fight with each other. So these are things to be very careful about. And there you go, Zeph hops in. I don't know what Boa means, but that whatever else is happening. So now at this point, every single teammate is typed into chat, right? So once again, I would just turn off chat. If you're getting upset, literally just go into your settings really quick, turn off chat for the rest of the game, and just resist yourself. So anyways, they're still going. At this point, yes, great call, I would say, by Zeph. This is probably what the next major team fight is going to happen over. So Ark at this point has 2 win conditions to me. They get Darkslayer and they get the last high ground tower, or they set up an ambush around Darkslayer and they just get a good team wipe and it's game. So most likely the next team fight winner is going to win the game. So that's really what the teams need to be focusing on. I love that Ark sat back and peeled for Tell as soon as Zuka jumped in. He landed the stun and got damage off. So Zuka down. Unfortunately, they did lose their Zeph, who was trying to poke in on the Darkslayer. Same thing, good, nice focus, okay. So here we go, and they do force that, what I would consider the second choice, which was wipe the enemy team, essentially, take a really good team fight, and just end the game, and I'm sure that is what they are about to do right now. So anyways, let's, to recap, the purpose of today's video was mainly use your camera movement to look around the map, and the main thing that you are looking for when you scroll the camera is you are looking to see what enemies' health levels are. Okay? You want to keep track of the enemy health level throughout the game because it helps you make better team fighting decisions and just makes you make better decisions in general. Should we go and kill the dragon? Should I go and get Vision Seagull? Should I invade their jungle? Those type of decisions are all aided when you know how much health the enemy team has. The final thing that we really wanted to focus on today was, my brain is freezing for a second. Oh, decisiveness in your actions, right? So we had a couple instances where we talked about Ark. He was really decisive when he killed that high ground tower and he died to Yorn. I loved it. He was indecisive when he went for a net and decided to back out and ends up dying anyways and then doesn't get a kill. He was indecisive about the dragon when his team and the enemy team were posturing to take the very first dragon into the game. He decides to go to lane and clear it, even though his teammate Omen is already there also clearing the lane, and his team ends up giving up 2 kills. So there's a couple more times in the game that he's indecisive. But anyways, when you do something, the main point I want to say about being decisive is this. If you don't know if it's a good choice or a bad choice, it's better to just make the choice. Make one choice and just do it. Maybe it ends up being bad, but maybe it ends up being good. But being decisive is always a bad choice because when you're indecisive, it's always going to have a bad outcome, right? Because you're just going to kind of A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, and then you just end up getting nothing done. So anyways, those were the 2 main points. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more of this type of content. And for those of you who do not know about Squirrel Nation, it is a place with a bunch of super friendly community who we review your game footage. We answer any questions you have, build, meta, team comps, anything going on out there. So if you're interested in that, please join Squirrel Nation in the comments down below. Anyways, as always, have a great day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.